Hi, Heather Paris here of liveinspirednow.com, and welcome to day 3 of a week of stories. Today, my story is all about why I believe that hamsters are absolutely evil creatures. So it all started back in middle school when I desperately wanted a pet, and my parents allowed me to get a couple of hamsters. Now I had your typical hamster cage, about this big, and it was wire, and I had the hamster wheel and the big water bottle for the hamsters, and I took very good care of them. I really did. I had little toys in there for them, and I took them out and played with them and did everything right. Well, then my birthday happened, and at my birthday, my very best girlfriend at that time, Tammy, had given me a really cool t-shirt. Now, I don't remember what was on the t-shirt, but it was awesome, and I loved it. And so I laid the t-shirt out on my dresser next to the hamster cage so that I could wear it the next day to school. And somehow, in the middle of the night, those resourceful and evil hamsters somehow reached their little mangy claws out of that cage and grabbed onto the t-shirt and pulled it into the cage and gnawed holes all through it. So when I woke up, I couldn't wear my shirt. There was holes all over it, and I'd never even gotten to wear it yet. And I was so disappointed. But that's not entirely why they're evil. So after that, my dad, who's a machinist and an amazing artist, built me this amazing hamster condo. It was huge, and it was all made out of plexiglass. So they couldn't reach their hands out. It was all like plexiglass, plastic glass, right? And then it had a sliding thing on the top that I could open and close to reach down in there and clean it and take care of them. And then the top had all these little holes on it that they could never ever get to, but that was for their air. It was absolutely beautiful. My dad even made little climby things in there for them. They had the best hamster house anywhere. Let me tell you, it was beautiful. And so great, now they can't eat through any more of my shirts. Well, then I decided to do a school project about the hamsters and their habitat and how they live. So I had to bring the hamsters in for science class. Well, I brought them in this beautiful, amazing plexiglass hamster condo, and when it was my turn to go up in science class, I brought them up. I put them right on the table in front of the entire class, and I stood behind it because it was glass, you could see right through it. And in the middle of my presentation, those hamsters started going at it. That's right, they were doing the deed. You know what deed I'm talking about. Right there in front of all the other students. That's enough to ruin a kid in middle school. Your hamsters are doing it in front of the entire class, and everyone laughed. I was humiliated, and everything was there to see because they were in this beautiful plexiglass case, right? Okay, well, that's strike 2 against the hamsters. Now the hamsters came home and everything. Well, lo and behold, since they were doing the deed in my science class, I don't remember how long it was, a few weeks later, all of the sudden, the hamster's a little fat, one of them. So I came home from school one day and I hear the strangest noise coming from in my room. It was kind of quiet, but it was really weird sounding. So I went up to my room and checked on the hamsters, and they had babies, and the daddy hamster was eating them. Yes, it's true. Strike 3, you're out, hamsters. I am done. That was it. I couldn't handle the hamsters anymore. Oh my God, it was so gross and so awful, and all of the babies died, and I was like horribly traumatized at that age. And then I have one other hamster anecdote just to add to the fact that they are evil. So as an adult, I had an apartment like shortly after I had first moved out of my parents' house. So I was probably about 19 or 20, and I lived in a little one-room apartment above a daycare center. Well, that daycare center had an evil hamster, and that hamster constantly escaped from his cage. And he always found his way up to my apartment. And then one day I came home and he was literally sitting right in the center of my pillow on my bed. And I couldn't believe it. I had to leave. I literally had to move out. I couldn't handle coming home and finding a hamster in my room all the time loose. It was terrifying. So there you go. I really hate hamsters. And I'm a vegetarian. I'm an animal lover. I would never ever hurt an animal ever. But I have to tell you, I really, really hate hamsters. And that's why.